You are more powerful than you think. You are more powerful than you think because your inner power is your full human presence. And most of us spend our entire lives reacting to our thoughts, to emotions, and to our physical bodies, not realizing we're indiscriminately diluting our inner power. My name is Jack Rourke. This video is an introductory guide to help you align with your innermost being and harness the power of your authentic presence. To begin tapping into your inner resources, all you really need to know is this process is not about optimizing how you think. Accessing your power actually requires becoming familiar with feeling your physical, emotional, and creative being. This is called felt awareness. For many people, not reacting to their thoughts is a challenge, but I promise if you invest effort and time practicing felt awareness, genuine progress is inevitable. Keep in mind, progress is not always about getting what you want. Progress is also a complete shift in the way you see the world and how you understand your place in it. I remember one man I worked with who suddenly realized all the opportunities he saw when feeling good also existed when he was anxious. It blew his mind to discover life is not how he imagined it is when he's at his worst. Shortly thereafter, he fell in love and landed his dream job. All it took for his inner power to blossom as these wonderful changes was to stop reacting to his thoughts and accept reality as it was. Then my client used all his talents to serve the world rather than imagine he was a victim to it. Now let's talk about physical energy. Physical energy is where we start because it's fundamental to aligning with your inner power. The purpose of working with physical energy is to develop a peaceful and responsive nervous system. Most people come to me saying things like, I want this, or I'm afraid of this thing will happen. I'm really stressed. What they don't realize is focusing on their reactions to circumstances ignores the fact their nervous system is not aligned with their inner power. Once I teach people to sense the state of their nervous system, we then learn to optimize the inner state, creating not just a flow of inner power, but certainty as well. The word optimize, as I'm using it here, just means tuning the physical body to its proper level of activation, given your values, relational boundaries, and your circumstances. To tune our nervous system, we might use breathing techniques such as inhaling with a longer exhale. Some people do jumping jacks or dance to their favorite song or recite their favorite poem or mantra. Another good practice is grounding. Lying on the floor and letting yourself feel held for 5 minutes can inspire a strong sense of safety. But whatever strategy gets you out of your mind and into your regulated body is the right choice for you. Being intentional with managing your nervous system has huge consequences, not just for your own health and well-being, but for others as well. A calm nervous system is important because our nervous systems are interactive. We're always feeling each other. This means managing our physical energy has a soothing impact on others too, allowing us to walk into any situation as a welcomed co-creator, rather than passively submitting to someone else's vibe, thereby losing contact with our inner power. Next, let's talk about emotions. Even if we soothe our nerves and connect with inner power, maintaining that connection demands working effectively with our feelings. Emotions have a powerful impact on our ability to hold and direct focused attention. To remain grounded in our power, we must overcome intolerance for feelings and the automatic rejection of them. From my point of view, emotions are not good or bad. They're just information to make decisions with. The problem is most people have been conditioned to react to their emotions rather than own them. They automatically blame someone for making them feel what they're feeling. This is a problem because making someone else responsible for what you feel obscures the information that emotion offers. Also, by blaming, we're only looking at the assumed cause of the emotion, which means not only are we ignoring important information, we're also misdirecting the power behind our attention onto what we do not want. To clarify, whenever you blame someone for your feelings by saying, "You make me feel," you give away your power wrongly making it seem as if you're a victim by way of unwanted emotions. When there are no bad feelings, emotions are just sensations for making decisions. Now let's talk about how to work with emotions more deeply. To best access your inner power, name what emotion you're encountering. Then use it to identify your unmet needs, and then use that unmet need to make a smart decision. Did you notice getting information from your emotions did not require judging that feeling? This is because judging feelings as good or bad creates a personalized attachment to them, otherwise known as feeling stuck. Emotions must flow for us to extract the information they contain. So accept feelings without criticism and look for the unfulfilled need they reveal. Then express your power through decisive action to meet that need. To protect against emotions getting stuck, it's helpful to label them. Research shows that when we name our emotions, it calms the amygdala. The amygdala is the fear and survival center in our brain. Calming our brain is good because it creates space for self-soothing and working skillfully with our emotions. Another important reason for using emotions properly is it prevents them from distorting our perception. If we do not slow down and name our feelings, unexamined emotions can hijack attention by activating a mental narrative that inspires feelings about our emotions. These feelings about emotions are dangerous. They can foster beliefs which disconnect us from the present moment, causing us to provoke circumstances and react to others in ways that create a lived experience counter to our genuine needs and life as it truly is. But if we honor emotions as information and we remain committed to the now, we do not accidentally create imaginary worlds within which to suffer secondary sensory experiences of our own making. Instead, we name our emotions, then allow them to move through us like clouds passing the sun, while we always remain inwardly grounded in authentic being. Once our physical and emotional energies are aligned and our attention is trained to remain focused in the present, inner power flows into our experience as intuition, inspiration, and creativity. Then, because these outputs are expressions of our authentic being, success happens. But this is when it can also seem as if achievement has a limit. In my decades working with high-profile creatives, I've noticed something fascinating. Sometimes, when an artist has reached accomplishments beyond their expectations, they panic because many of us are conditioned to struggle. So when dreams come true, there can be a tendency to feel guilty, create drama, or look for problems as a way to feel normal. This is when artists self-destruct. They either hurt themselves or what makes them exceptional before anyone else can harm them for not conforming. We've all seen famous people implode. But guess what? This cycle occurs within spiritual evolution too. Think of it this way. All self-sabotage is an attempt to stay safe by avoiding change. But the good news is change is safe. Safely maintaining achievement only requires remaining connected to our inner power by allowing our emotions to flow without stressing or holding on to them. It's also helpful to adopt a sense of gratitude. While choosing to accept we are worthy and belong in our new world where creativity, kindness, and happiness is normal, then we can easily maintain positive forward momentum by forming supportive connections without needing to worry about the future or control what happens along the way. Once it's understood that our new sense of belonging derived from the expression of our authentic power is real safety, letting go of the past is easy. Because all self-sabotage is an attempt to return to old, deeply ingrained dynamics that are no longer necessary for survival. What I'm trying to explain is, living your true power is a radical shift in identity from who you were taught you were to who naturally blossoms from deep within you. Let's examine this identity conflict more closely. Our brain uses the past to envision our future. This means if we're accustomed to stress but somehow come to experience joy, our nervous systems might feel threatened because our brains don't have enough experiential data to understand or trust happiness is safe. When we don't feel safe, our brains become hyper vigilant. Vigilance is that feeling of danger that causes us to be overly negative by always pointing out what's wrong or what we don't want. Focusing on what might go wrong until something does go wrong is self-sabotage. To put it another way, self-sabotage is the process by which the brain creates an internal experience of danger until it provokes an external reality similar to the past, so you will not be overwhelmed by a positive future. This means self-sabotage is a form of maladaptive self-care, one that stifles achievement to avoid feeling vulnerable to the unknown. Now let's talk about how we can create a new life by building on our accomplishments rather than getting stuck striving for a future we don't feel safe living in. To overcome self-sabotage, it's important to practice celebrating and expressing gratitude for even the smallest achievements. But here's what's truly essential. We mustn't dwell on success. To avoid self-sabotage, we have to acknowledge achieving our goals while harnessing our positive feelings to propel us forward toward our next creative achievement. To clarify further, there are two reasons I teach clients to use celebration to fuel focus on an immediate new goal. First, it's so clients establish the felt origin of their success is their creativity and joy. This trains their brain to reflect on themselves as a source of goodness and safety, while also ensuring they anticipate a bright future because of who they inherently are. The second reason I encourage investment in positive momentum is so an achievement doesn't become a fixed identity, something the brain might protect by stifling change moving forward. Remember, our brains don't respond to thought commands. They respond to feelings reinforced by images and sounds. If you make yourself fluent in your brain's emotional language by choosing to create positive feelings, images, and sounds that are pleasing to you, you can train yourself to believe connection and change are safe, thereby altering your experience of the past, your identity, and your future. You are the architect of your reality. By spending more time savoring experiences you want more of, you're telling your brain, more of this, more of this, more of this. When people learn their brain works this way and they use pleasing experiences as mental anchors, their body learns what feels good is safe, forever changing what seems possible. Because where you place your attention becomes the life you live. You are an artist painting your experience on the fabric of existence. When you refrain from judgment and open to the unknown, while being physically calm without reacting to emotion and feeling grateful for the creative process, trusting you can handle whatever comes, you'll be amazed at how you'll discover life as something flowing through you as a creative power rather than something happening to you. So practice managing your physical energy through soothing your nervous system, then label, feel, and allow your emotions. And remember, the unknown is just an unexplored region of your eternal being. Welcome all life has to offer. This is how we live our innermost power. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining me here. I do hope this content has been helpful to you. If you'd like to learn more, please visit www.ijacrourke.net. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.